In the end of the day, it's all about our attitudes to different things, right? That makes us happy or more positive or not. Even in the CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, we say that it's not about the incident or about the event. It's about our perception, how we see it. Because the same event, that some people might see it as a blessing and other people will see it as hell.
Welcome to Psycho-Spiritual Journey, where we're exploring topics that harmonize psychology and spirituality, and where we develop professionally and spiritually.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube. My name is Elmira Strange and I'm a psychologist with spiritual vibes. And in this video, I would like to discuss something that I've done in the last couple of months. It was a technique which is related to practicing gratitude. We all know that gratitude is supposed to be really good for us, right? For our health, for our mental state, for our life, whatever you can think of. You can find quite a lot of research studies by now being done on this technique of gratitude, where people would be writing what they're grateful for pretty much every day, every morning would be 5 to 10 items and so on. And in the end, researchers would find something like their sleep improved, their mood stabilized and improved, their sense of happiness and well-being also got elevated. And I was wondering at some point, why it's so difficult to do this technique? Because we start on it, but after a week or two, we kind of give up on this journal. If you've tried it, and let me know in the comments if you've done it, if you've tried it, then you probably can say the same thing. It's difficult to keep that habit for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because we are lazy by nature, and that's a psychological fact, I can tell you. I was wondering how better to do it, and I realized that somehow I need to make it as a habit, right? Is it that important to write it down? Can I just say it out loud? And especially if I'm on my own, so I can just talk out loud anything I want, right? So this is what I started practicing. For 60 days, I started saying things, situations, people, whatever I can think of that I'm grateful for. You can address the divine power, you can address angels, you can address your spirit guides and God, or you can address it to pretty much anything you like. What are you grateful for? What makes you happy? Like, what makes you appreciate things? What kind of things? Because that's what gratitude is. So I started thinking, at first, of course, I started thinking that I'm grateful that my parents are still being alive. They are not that young anymore, so of course they might have some certain health issues, but at least generally speaking, they're fine. So I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for their health. I'm grateful for my own health. What else? That's the thing. When you start actually writing down or start thinking what it is you want to say, what you're grateful for, sometimes you almost run out of stuff. But what I've noticed that the more I make myself think about different things, the more I would come out with various reasons you can be grateful for that you are alive, unless you don't want to be alive. Being alive, being healthy, being able to see the world in its colors, being able to interact with people, being grateful for having mind that can think and calculate for you a direction that you need to go, or how to talk to people, or where are your socks in the morning, or how to brush your teeth. All that your mind still remembers. And if you think about many people who have Alzheimer's and dementia, they don't remember many of these things. And in fact, they forget their relatives, they forget their children. They don't recognize them anymore. Then, of course, there are people who still live in poverty. There are people who live on the streets. There are many people who still live with other people sharing the same room, like a few people in the room. If you don't have any of those conditions, that's a lot to be grateful for. Then, of course, think about if you still have vision and it's pretty good. How amazing is that to see the world in its colors? How amazing is to see people, see flowers, see gardens, go outside. If it's snowing in your country, then to see the beauty, which is snow on the trees, which is amazing. Many people talk about gratitude. Many authors write about it. And in the last century, for example, it's a Joseph Murphy who wrote about the power of subconscious mind. And many of his affirmations, which in other words are called prayers, are famous all over the world. In fact, even my mom, she reads his prayers, which are translated into Russian, when she needs to improve her health or to achieve a certain thing, because they are so powerful, they work. And Joseph Murphy, he addressed it as infinite intelligence that is within us, which is, in other words, the divine power. Somebody can say power, somebody can call it God, somebody can say all that is, or the universe, but that piece of God that is within us, or the subconscious, or infinite intelligence, whatever suits you, whatever resonates with you. The main thing that it has to resonate positively, and that's what you address. So what I realized that when we actually saying a gratitude, or in a form of prayer, or in a form of just thanking for everything, you're actually thanking that energy that lives within you, that infinite intelligence that is very wise, very smart. It is intelligence, right? So it can fix things, health issues and things like that in us. And when we address it through gratitude or prayer, we only get better. Our mood is getting better, our health is getting better, whether it's mental or physical. Also of this century, we have Abraham Hicks, who talks about the law of attraction for the last, I think, 35 years. And they also teach that the best way to get on the highest vibrational level, where everything is unfolding in front of you, where universe is looking after you, through the power of gratitude, appreciation, appreciating what's around you. So I did this gratitude for 60 days, in written form, in verbal form, as affirmations, as meditations with affirmations embedded. I did it in various forms. And what I did, I regard it not like a technique that I need to do once a day. I actually transformed it into a habit that is with me. And for example, if I sit down to eat, I'm saying automatically, I'm thankful for this meal. I'm thankful the delicious foods, whatever I want, I can go and get it, really. In the Western world, thankfully, most of us are able to get foods and drinks that we love, right? I also started researching not just about the power of gratitude, but also I remembered about the study that had been done years ago, and you probably remember that. It was in Japan by one Japanese researcher who found that molecular patterns of water, they would change if we say certain things to that water. In fact, there was research studies being done not just on water, but on different foods as well, like sprouted beans. If, for example, you would sprout 3 beans, like in 3 different pots, and you will be talking to one sprout in a very positive way, saying, I love you, you're so good, well done you, I'm proud of you, you're growing, you're so strong. And then to another sprout, for example, you won't say much, just like, hey, how's it going? All right. And then you would move on to the next one. And then you would say really bad words, like, I hate you, like, look at you, you're not even growing, and all that. You can do this experiment yourself. In a certain time, which is about a couple of months, you will see how the sprouts have done differently in the same environment. If you provide the same environment, like the water, the sun, the water, the feed and everything, you will see that they all behave differently. This study being done a few times, and actually by people at home, just to see the power of our word. And if you think that we are all made of water, or most of our bodies are water, then you can realize how much it affects us, what we say to each other, what we say to ourselves, and what we think even to ourselves, how we criticize ourselves. all that changes the molecular structure in us. So how did it go those 60 days? What I found? Well, I found that indeed my sleep have improved significantly. I sleep really well, like a baby. My mood has stabilized. I don't feel lonely or isolated or anything like that. I'm actually positive, and it's really stable. And I can tell you because I know what it's like to have mood swings. My appreciation for different things and for everything that goes well in my life, it increased to the point where I really appreciate every little thing. That I appreciate even the mattress that I sleep on, even though it's an ordinary mattress, that I have a roof over my head, that I am in this location where I wanted to be in, despite of noise and different challenges that I might encounter here. I appreciate more the things that go well. And I'm not saying that this environment is perfect. It's not. It's that we almost like wire ourselves to focus and amplify the things that we might be grateful for, the positive things. And the last one, I would say, what I found is that my faith and my trust in universe, in life, in God, has increased dramatically. I trust that everything will unfold how it should be. I trust that I will be looked after as a spirit that lives on this planet. I trust that everything will unfold as it should go. And no matter what happens, there is a reason for that. There is some teaching, or there is some, lesson, or it might lead to something even better. Nothing happens without a reason. This is how I see it. You might not agree, but this is what I've learned to look at. In the end of the day, it's all about our attitudes to different things, right? That makes us happy or more positive or not. Even in the CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, we say that it's not about the incident or about the event. It's about our perception, how we see it. Because the same event, that some people might see it as a blessing and other people will see it as hell, right? It's all depends on how we see things. And I think, and when we focus on appreciating and being grateful for the things that go well, it kind of amplifies, which goes together with Abraham Hicks' teachings. If you are one of the students of the law of attraction, then you know whatever we focus on, that amplifies. So this is what I would like to leave you with, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to say in the end that don't take a technique of gratitude that you need to do once a day for 15 minutes, 15 words in journal, when you don't really have time to do journaling, when you're too busy, when you are forgetful, like most of us, when it gets boring to do another technique. Instead, try to make it as a habit and just appreciate different things around you. Just look at them and say, wow, this is amazing. Look at those trees, look at those leaves. They look so interesting. Look at those colors, the autumn colors, or the winter, if you have snow. Wow, how sparkling that snow is. Just look at anything you can. Look at people, and I don't know, of course it depends on what country you're in. I've noticed that in some countries, for me, for example, it's easier to make a compliment to another woman because she's wearing a really cute dress, or she's wearing some really cool leggings, which I actually saw this morning, and I had to tell her. And you could see the smile was beaming on her face, which cheered me up. And this is how we can share the joy and positivity with each other. This is how the appreciation of life starts, in us, with us. Well, if you tried this technique, or you have some other ways of looking at life and appreciating it, please share what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, please subscribe it, share and like it. And I will see you in my next video.